Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the World 11 Weekly Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Tom. Always a pleasure to be here, man.
It's great to have you, Tom. And, we've got so much to dive into today. I mean, it's been like a wild week in the world of football, hasn't it? Like, seriously, some major headlines.
Yeah, I mean, it's never a dull moment, is it? We've got everything from like doping scandals, which is always, a bit shocking, to surprise managerial rejections, which is like a bit wild. Also, we're going to talk about some big transfer targets and maybe even an ugly brawl, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna, dissect Mudryk's troubling doping test, big implications there, and of course, Gareth Southgate, being snubbed by Poland. Like, what's next for him, right? We'll also dive into Liverpool's ongoing transfer activity and who they're eyeing next. Plus, Celtic, they're back in Japan, it seems.
Oh, yeah, and trust me, you do not want to miss our take on Flamengo. Absolutely stunning Chelsea in the Club World Cup. And the subsequent rant that followed. It was quite something. Plus, we'll get into the Sheffield Wednesday situation, those financial woes. And of course, Phil Foden just being brilliant.
Oh, Foden, always brilliant. And, we'll touch on the J-League, which is really like getting a lot of European attention these days. And finally, Messi getting benched, which sparked quite a debate. So lots to unpack. Stick with us.
All right, Tom, let's just jump right into it because this first one, it's pretty wild, right? Mykhailo Mudryk, the Chelsea winger, I mean, shocking news coming out about a positive doping test.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that headline and honestly, my jaw just dropped. Mudryk, of all people, it's completely out of left field, isn't it? Like, what are your initial thoughts on this song? Because it's pretty heavy.
It is heavy, man, and it's not just heavy, it's potentially devastating for his career, isn't it? A possible 4-year ban? Like, that's huge. I mean, he's just, joined Chelsea? He's still finding his feet, and then this happens. It's a massive blow, not just for him, but for Chelsea, too. They invested so much in him.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just really tough to hear. And, a 4-year ban, as you said, for a player who's still 23? That's effectively, a huge chunk of his prime gone. It's just a real shame, honestly, for anyone, regardless of club, to face something like this. Like, you just wonder, what was going on?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what led to this? And you just hope for his sake, there's some kind of explanation or something that can mitigate it, because 4 years, that's career altering, man. It really is. Like, you come back from that, it's a completely different landscape.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's incredibly sad. And, we'll obviously keep an eye on how this develops because it's just like a really big story that could have, long lasting repercussions.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's incredibly sad. And, we'll obviously keep an eye on how this develops because it's just like a really big story that could have, long lasting repercussions.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of big names and unexpected moves, or in this case, non-moves, Gareth Southgate, the ex-England boss, he was apparently snubbed by Poland for their national team coaching role. Did you see that?
I did see that, and honestly, I was a bit surprised. I mean, Southgate, for all his, some of the criticisms he got with England, he did lead them to a Euros final, a World Cup semifinal. Like, that's not nothing, right? And for Poland to just be nah, not for us, it's kind of wild. What do you reckon that says about his stock now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really interesting one, isn't it? Because you'd think after the England job, he'd be a top candidate for a lot of national teams, especially one like Poland, who, they're looking to kind of build something. But I don't know, maybe his style of play or his approach maybe just didn't align with what they were looking for. It's a bit of a head scratcher, honestly.
Yeah, it really is. And you just wonder, what's next for him then? Is he going to try and get back into club management, or is he going to wait for another international opportunity that's, perhaps a bigger fish? Because, I mean, Poland's a good national team, but it's not, top tier. What do you think he does from here, man?
Honestly, I think he's probably gonna bide his time, to be fair. Like, I don't see him rushing back into club management. I feel like he's a national team kind of guy. So he'll probably wait for like the right fit, you know? Maybe I don't know, like a bigger European nation or perhaps even like a really ambitious project somewhere else. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where he pops up next, if anywhere, soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think he's definitely more suited for the international game. Just, dealing with players for short bursts. But yeah, good for Poland for sticking to their guns, I suppose. Yeah, good for Poland for sticking to their guns, I suppose. Anyway, moving on from international management sagas, let's talk about Liverpool because I mean their rebuild, it just seems to be like constantly ongoing, doesn't it? And apparently they're now like really chasing Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace. What do you make of that, Tom?
Oh yeah, Sean, it's definitely a big one. I mean, Liverpool's like definitely still in that phase of refreshing their squad, right? And Guehi, he's like a really interesting target. He's obviously been fantastic for Palace and like really matured into, a proper leader at the back. So for Liverpool to be like sniffing around him, it kind of makes sense given they need like that long-term defensive solution.
Yeah, I mean he's a very solid defender. Like he's young, English, got good pace, strong in the tackle, really good on the ball too. He's played for England obviously at a senior level. Do you think he's like ready for that step up to a club like Liverpool though? Cuz playing for Palace is one thing, but like the pressure at Anfield is just a whole different beast.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? Can he like consistently perform at that like elite level week in, week out, especially with the Champions League or, whatever European competition they're in? But I kind of feel like he's got the temperament for it, you know? He's so calm on the ball even under pressure. And like the way he reads the game, it's really mature for someone his age. I think yeah, I think he could fit in quite well, to be honest. Like he offers that progressive passing that Liverpool they really value in their center backs.
No, I agree. And he's got that like versatility too, which I think Klopp or whoever the next manager is would really appreciate, Like he can play left center back, even right center back if needed. I think he'd be like an astute signing if they can get it done. The price tag is probably going to be like pretty hefty low considering he's English and, Palace won't want to let him go cheap.
Oh, for sure. Like, absolutely. Palace are not going to let him go for a bargain, that's for certain. But if Liverpool are serious about this rebuild and, like, bringing in top-quality younger players, then, yeah, Goy definitely fits that bill. It'll be an interesting to see if they, actually pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a massive transfer fee, I think. But, hey, speaking of scouting and, like, successful transfers, let's pivot a bit and talk about Celtic because it seems like they're back in Japan, Tom. Like, they've had obviously huge success with players from the J-League, and now they're reportedly like really looking at Shin Yamada. What's the scoop there?
Yeah, Sean. It's not a surprise at all, is it? Like Celtic have basically established this incredible pipeline from Southeast Asia, especially from the J-League. They've just been so good at identifying talent there, bringing them over, and like really integrating them into the team. And Yamada, he's definitely the latest name on their radar, and I mean he's been absolutely stand out, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost become like their secret weapon, hasn't it? Just like going to Japan, picking up these gems. You think about Kyogo Furuhashi, Ryo Hatate, even Dyson Maeda. They've all just like hit the ground running. It's like a testament to Celtic's scouting network, but also, just how well those players adapt. So for Yamada, do you think he'd like be another one of those successes given Celtic's like track record?
I honestly think he could be. I mean, he's a really exciting player, very versatile. He's got like a great work rate, which, Celtic really values. He can play across the midfield, even a bit further forward. And I think like just looking at him, he seems to have that technical ability, the awareness, the passing range that really suits Celtic style of play. Plus, like he'd be joining a club where, there's already that Japanese contingent, which always helps with settling in, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's like a built-in support system, isn't it? And it just goes to show like that the J-League is definitely becoming, a serious breeding ground for talent now, not just for Celtic, but for like other European clubs as well. It's It's a smart strategy from Celtic, I think, to keep going back to that well.
Oh, absolutely. And the prices are usually quite reasonable compared to other European leagues or, just talent from other regions. So it's a win-win, really. You get high quality, technically gifted players, and they often come with a really strong work ethic and a great attitude. So yeah, I can see why Celtic are just continuing to explore that market. It's working for them. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of things working out and not working out, we got to talk about the Club World Cup, Tom, because Flamengo, they absolutely stunned Chelsea. Like a 3-1 thrashing. I mean, what even happened there?
Oh wow, Sean. I mean, that was just wild, wasn't it? Like Chelsea, coming into that, you just sort of expected them to handle Flamengo, but Flamengo just showed up and they were so clinical. It was almost embarrassing for Chelsea, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, a 3-1 defeat in the Club World Cup final against a South American side is just not what you expect from a top European club like Chelsea, is it? They just looked, I don't know, completely off the pace. What were your initial thoughts watching that game unfold?
Well, I just kept thinking where's the fight? Where's the intensity that you expect? And Flamengo, to their credit, they exploited every single weakness, especially in that Chelsea defense. Like the goals they scored, they were well worked, but Chelsea they made it so easy for them. It was a really poor performance all around from the Blues.
And it wasn't just the performance on the pitch, was it? Because that result, it sparked quite the reaction, especially from a prominent pundit. I mean, the report said it was an X-rated rant that followed. Did you catch any of that?
Oh, I mean, you couldn't miss it, could you? It was everywhere, and yeah, it was pretty brutal. This pundit, he just completely tore into Chelsea's performance, their attitude, even the manager, really, just no holds barred. I mean, he didn't just critique the tactics; he went for the very soul of the team, basically.
Yeah, I mean, when someone describes a pundit's reaction as X-rated, it's not just a bit of strong language, right? It's deep-seated frustration, and it kind of reflects, I think, what a lot of Chelsea fans were probably feeling after that game, which was just total exasperation.
Oh, totally. I mean, he was basically the voice of Chelsea Twitter, just unfiltered rage and disappointment. And look, it's a Club World Cup. You're supposed to be showing the best of European football, and Chelsea they just didn't, did they? They kind of let everyone down, especially their own fans. It was tough to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely put a spotlight on some deeper issues at the club, I think, than just that one result.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely put a spotlight on some deeper issues at the club, I think, than just that one result. And speaking of difficult watches and just ugly scenes, we've got to talk about the England U21 versus Spain Euros final, Tom, because man, that one turned really ugly, didn't it? Ended in a mass brawl.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Sean, that was just a real stain on what should have been, a celebratory moment for the U21s. A European final, you want to see pure football, and then boom, it just erupts into that. It was so disappointing to witness, honestly.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, you're watching these young players, future stars potentially, and then all of a sudden it's just chaos on the pitch. What do you think even sparked that, Tom? Was it just the heat of the moment, or was there something building up, do you think?
I think it was a bit of both, honestly. These youth tournaments, they're so intense, and these players are so passionate, and sometimes that passion, it just boils over. And it's a final, so there's so much on the line. But regardless of what sparked it, it's not what you want to see, is it? It's just really tarnishes the whole event.
No, not at all. And it's the kind of incident that,
It draws attention for all the wrong reasons. Like, obviously, there are going to be disciplinary consequences for that, right? Yellow cards, red cards, probably bans extending beyond this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the FA and the Spanish Federation, they're gonna have to like come down pretty hard on some of those players, I think. You can't have like that sort of behavior on a football pitch, especially not in a final. And it sends like the wrong message to younger players, doesn't it?
It really does. And I think beyond the immediate disciplinary action, it hurts the image of the game, doesn't it? Especially at that level. Like, you're trying to showcase the talent and the future of European football, and then you get a brawl. It's not a good look.
No, it's really not. And like everyone talks about sportsmanship and fair play, and then you see something like that, and it's just like, it's a step backward. Hopefully, they learn from it, and it's a one-off. But yeah, it was pretty grim to watch.
Yeah, it really was. And speaking of grim, like, we've got to talk about Sheffield Wednesday, Tom, because their financial situation seems to have taken like another significant hit, hasn't it?
Oh man, yeah, that's really tough to see, isn't it? They've been slapped with a 3-window transfer embargo, like a 3-window embargo. That's pretty brutal, and it's all down to like these repeated payment delays.
Yeah, I mean, a 3-window embargo, it's crippling for a club, isn't it? Especially for a club like trying to compete and, just stay afloat in the current climate. What do you think the long-term impact of something like that is going to be on them?
Well, it's massive, right? I mean, you can't sign players for like a year and a half, essentially. It means they're gonna have to rely almost entirely on their existing squad, which, for any club, that's a huge challenge, and it puts immense pressure on the academy, I guess, to like produce players. But even then, it's just really, really tough.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically stuck with what you've got. And if you're battling relegation or trying to get promoted, like, you lose that vital ability to, tweak the squad, bring in reinforcements, address injuries. It's a huge disadvantage, isn't it?
It really is. And it just kind of highlights like the precarious financial state that some of these clubs find themselves in. It's not just the big names that struggle. Like, clubs throughout the pyramid, they face these kind of issues. And for Sheffield Wednesday, I mean, it's a historic club. It's just like really sad to see them in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a harsh reminder of the financial realities of football, especially outside of, the very top flight. Hopefully they can navigate their way through it, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
No, not at all. It's going to be a real test of like their resilience, I think. And, hopefully they can like get things sorted out behind the scenes and get back on track soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully they can navigate their way through it, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. But, speaking of teams that are definitely not struggling, Tom, we've got to talk about Manchester City, and specifically like Phil Foden in their Club World Cup opener. I mean, he was just like electric, wasn't he?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. I mean, you go from the grim reality of like Sheffield Wednesday's finances to just pure brilliance, right? And Foden, he continues to shine. I mean, a goal and an assist in, what was it, just a few minutes in their Club World Cup opener. That's just Foden, isn't it? He's just so like consistently impactful.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like he just walks onto the pitch and makes something happen immediately. It's incredible. And for City in a Club World Cup, which is, I guess they're expected to win it, but still, you need to like set the tone. And he just did that for them, didn't he? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he totally did. And it's become expected of him, hasn't it? Which is kind of crazy to say about a player still like relatively young, but he just has that ability to, affect the game in those key moments. And for City, it's another weapon in their arsenal that frankly nobody else seems to have.
No, exactly. And it just highlights how crucial he is to that City team, even with all the other, big names they have. When Foden's on it, like, he just adds a different dimension. And I think, seeing him perform like that on a global stage, like the Club World Cup, it just solidifies his status as like one of the best young players in the world, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's exciting to watch him play, isn't it? He's just got that spark. And what a start to their Club World Cup campaign for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully they can navigate their way through it, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. But, speaking of teams that are definitely not struggling, Tom, we've got to talk about Manchester City and specifically like Phil Foden in their Club World Cup opener. I mean, he was just like electric, wasn't he?
Oh my goodness, Sean, absolutely. I mean, you go from the grim reality of like Sheffield Wednesday's finances to just pure brilliance, right? And Foden, he continues to shine. I mean, a goal and an assist in, what was it, just a few minutes in their Club World Cup opener? That's just Foden, isn't it? He's just so like consistently impactful.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like he just walks onto the pitch and, makes something happen immediately. It's incredible. And for City in a Club World Cup, which is, I guess they're expected to win it, but still, you need to like set the tone. And he just did that for them, didn't he? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he totally did. And it's become expected of him, hasn't it? Which is kind of crazy to say about a player is still like relatively young, but he just has that ability to, affect the game in those key moments. And for City, it's another weapon in their arsenal that frankly nobody else seems to have.
No, exactly. And it just highlights how crucial he is to that City team, even with all the other, big names they have. When Foden's on it, like he just adds a different dimension. And I think, seeing him perform like that on a global stage like the Club World Cup, it just solidifies his status as like one of the best young players in the world, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's exciting to watch him play, isn't it? He's just got that spark. And yeah, what a start to their Club World Cup campaign, for sure. Yeah, what a start indeed. And, speaking of global football, Tom, it's actually a good segue, I think, into something we've been noticing quite a bit over the last few years, but it seems to be really ramping up now. And that's like the J-League, Japan's J-League, getting a lot of serious attention from European clubs. It's really on the radar now, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Sean. It's fascinating, actually. I mean, for a while there, it's felt like it was almost a hidden gem, But now you see teams like Celtic, for example, who've had immense success with Japanese players. They're constantly scouting there. And it's not just them, is it? It's becoming a go-to place for clubs looking for genuine talent.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like it's become a gold mine, hasn't it? The technical ability, the work rate, the professionalism of the players coming out of Japan. From the J-League, it just seems to fit perfectly with the European game. And it's not just, the big names that you hear about now and then. It's a consistent stream of players.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for a long time, maybe some European clubs were a bit hesitant, for whatever reason. But now with the success stories, it's just really opened their eyes. It's like, oh, wait, there's a whole league of quality players there. And the transfer fees are often quite reasonable, too, for the quality you're getting.
Yeah, that's a huge point, isn't it? You're often getting players who are, relatively low risk financially, but with a potentially very high reward. And you see them adapting so quickly. It's not like, some players from other leagues where it takes them a season or two to settle. J-League players seem to hit the ground running.
Yeah, they really do. And it's a testament to the league itself, I think, and the development structures they have in place. It's really well run. And, it's great for Japanese football, but it's also just adding another layer to the global transfer market, which I think is really exciting.
Absolutely. It just shows, that talent truly is everywhere. And if you're willing to do the legwork and the scouting, you can find gems in places that maybe weren't always, the first stop for European clubs. It's a really positive trend, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of high-profile players and, management decisions, we've got to talk about Messi, right? Like, he was benched by Inter Miami this week, which I think really sparked a huge debate.
Oh, for sure, Tom. Like when you see Lionel Messi, arguably the greatest of all time, sitting on the bench, it immediately raises eyebrows, doesn't it? It's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I mean, for Inter Miami, it's pretty clear the reliance they have on him. He's their everything. So to bench him, it's got to be, a calculated risk by the manager, right? Or like, is it just about workload management?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Like, on one hand, you think, okay, he's getting older. He's played a ton of football. He's got, international breaks, travel, everything. So maybe it's just about preserving him for the crucial games. But then on the other hand, it's Messi. Every game feels crucial when he's on the pitch.
Right? And I think it also, kind of opens up that broader discussion about how much our team's relying on one player, even if that player is Messi. Like, does it become a crutch? And when he's not there, how do the other players step up? Because obviously they still need to perform.
Yeah, and it's a huge challenge for the manager, isn't it? Like, you have this generational talent, you want to play him every single minute, but you also have to protect them. And for Inter Miami, especially with their travel schedule in MLS and all the cup competitions, it's a tightrope walk.
It really is, and I'm always curious to see, what kind of, ripple effect these decisions have. Like, does it send a message to the rest of the squad? Does it change the dynamic of the team when, the main man isn't out there? And it probably forces them to, find other solutions, which, could be good in the long run.
Exactly. Like, it's a test of depth, isn't it? And, for a player like Messi, too, it's probably a mental break as well, more than just physical, just like a moment to reset. But man, it just feels weird seeing that number 10, that iconic number 10 on the bench.
For sure.
It does feel weird, but I guess, when you're that good, sometimes you also need to take a step back to keep being that good, if that makes sense. It's a tough balance. Yeah, it's a tough balance. Well, Tom, I think we've covered quite a bit this week, haven't we? From Mudryk's doping troubles, which is just wild, to Southgate's rejection, and then Liverpool's rebuild, which, is always ongoing, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely, Sean. I mean, we've had some really interesting insights into Celtic scouting Japan, that big Flamengo upset against Chelsea, which I'm still kind of reeling from. And then, of course, those ugly U21 scenes and the Sheffield Wednesday ban, which is pretty serious stuff.
And of course, Foden just absolutely sparkling for Man City. It's been, quite the week, as always, in global football. We really appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening, everyone.
And make sure to join us next week on the World 11 Weekly for even more global football news and analysis. It's going to be, another packed show, I'm sure.